Good morning and welcome in. This is day 2 of the stream of Facebook Live, A Little Bit of Thunder. My name is Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. That's why it's A Little Bit of Thunder. I'm in a new venue today. I'm on the porch. I'm working on the computer. So if there's any issues, anything you need to share with me, you go right ahead and share with me. First of all, I want to thank from the bottom of my heart everyone who tuned in yesterday. More than 1,200 people watched, whether live or recorded, my little bit of thunder. It was 15 minutes, and I hope the message was on point. I hope it touched you in some way, and I hope it connected with you. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to connect. We're here to be part of a community. That's what I love. That's what I love being. That's what I love doing. I love helping community. I love creating community. I love being part of community, and I love leading community. So first of all, thank you very, very much. Secondly, a reminder, tweet at Mitch Nellis. You can email thundermke@gmail.com like some people already have. You can get to me on Facebook via this vehicle by direct messaging or whatever it is. And I really, really appreciate that. You know, they say day 2 is always going to be harder. Day 1, you come out of the gates, you got all these great ideas. You know what you want to say, you know what you want to represent, and you're able to do it. And day 2, you're like, wow, there's a little bit of a hangover. I'm not exactly sure what to say. I don't know how do I capture that same energy? Well, that's what we're here to do. We're here to keep up that energy this whole time. That's why we do this for 10 minutes every day, so that we keep up the energy, so that we are able to communicate and be part of each other's communities. So much is happening, as everybody knows. It's hard to keep track of. I did want to give a shout out to my buddy Dustin. He was the first one to email in. All he wrote is, "It was great to see your video. Always listen to your show and the comforting takes on real life. Still remember your last show and being upset. Keep it up." And to me, that's what this is all about. So Dustin, thank you for being the first emailer to A Little Bit of Thunder. Remember, everybody can email in, thundermke@gmail.com, and share your thoughts. You agree with me? Great, say that. You disagree with me? Great, say that. Go stand on top of your tallest mountain and tell me why you disagree with me. Or go stand on your whatever it is you want to stand on and agree with me and give me a virtual hug. Even if you disagree with me, you can still give me a virtual hug, because as you know, I'm all about hugging. Good morning goes to Mort. Mort, thanks for chiming in this morning. I love it. So wanted to read that email, wanted to give shout outs to everybody on Facebook who's been a part of this, who's been making people's lives better during coronavirus, during COVID. I know we've had a week of chaos this past week, but even before that, we've had 11, 12 weeks of our lives just being flipped upside down. I still remember being at home watching the Dallas Mavericks game on March 11th when the doctors ran onto the court in Oklahoma City and they pulled everybody off. And our world hasn't been the same since then. Our country hasn't been the same since then. Our relationships haven't been the same since then. School was never the same. Work was never the same. Media was never the same. I mean, it was just everything changed so quickly with that one night when the NBA pulled everybody off. And so I want to talk about sports as part of this, because you know that's my love. You know that's my background. But I want to talk about bigger things as well. One of the bigger things I want to talk about today is I was reading a blog from my friend Quinn over at FM 1061. It's a country station in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We worked in the same building, and oftentimes she was kind of that female voice on our sports station. She would come over. She's from Buffalo, so she's a Bills fan and a Sabres fan. And while I do hold that against her, because those are not exactly the right teams to root for, except for when Doug Flutie was on the Bills, she wrote a really great blog yesterday that everybody should have a chance if they go, just Google FM 1061 or Quinn. And she was in Waukesha, Wisconsin, where there was a peaceful protest yesterday during the day. And she wrote a blog about it, how she listened, how she didn't talk, how she didn't take out her phone, and there was no violence. There was no violence. There was no threat of violence. She felt safe the whole time. And I think so many of us see what we see on the news. And listen, what we see on the news is real. Like, that's real stuff going on in our country, and that's real things we need to talk about and we need to figure out. But more than that, there are so many of these peaceful protests going on. There are people who want change. There are people who want to be part of the change. There are people who want to help the change. There are people who want to lead the change. And Quinn went to this rally, and it was a great firsthand account of a peaceful protest that I hadn't read before, that I hadn't seen before. And so I just, if you have a chance to check that out, go right ahead. Now, we're all on social media, and whether we're on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever it is, and I don't know if this is good or bad, but Instagram, seems to be less political for whatever reason. But we all see Facebook posts that of people we totally disagree with, some people we totally agree with, and of course we gravitate more towards the people we agree with. And then I've seen more people in the past week say, if you believe this, I'm unfriending you, or I unfriended 50 people last night because they all believe this and I don't believe that, and this, that, and the other. And I got into a couple of these conversations last night where I don't always get in these conversations. Somebody was telling me about things that the federal government was doing, and I wasn't quite sure that was what was going on. And so I questioned it, and they started questioning state government and local government. And I said, I thought we were talking about federal government. But at the end of the day, we need all these people to be doing their jobs, right? Whether you love Donald Trump or hate Donald Trump, or love Tony Evers or hate Tony Evers, or love Tom Barrett or hate Tom Barrett, I'm cheering for all three of these people because I want them to all do their job. And I think what we've seen too often is too many of these people, and certainly in the federal space, not doing their job. They're so busy, as Andrew Shepard said in The American President said, he was so busy keeping his job, he forgot to do his job. I love The American President, by the way. Whatever end of the political spectrum you're on, regardless, it doesn't matter. So regardless, I just want these people to be doing their job. So I'm engaging in some of these conversations. But what I'm asking you to do is read someone else's post, a post that you think is awful, and just read it. Because this is America. This is where we live. And if there's someone else who has that opinion, that's their opinion and that's their perception. That doesn't make them a bad person. They may disagree on some things, and they may love the Brewers, and they may love the Bucks, and you might be sitting next to them at a Packers game and not even know it, and cheering with them and high-fiving with them, and one day again hugging them. And we need to find out a way to make that okay again. I'm wearing this shirt today, Fighter Strong, Brave, Fierce Hero, Mackenzie Strong, for my friend Mackenzie, who should be a third grader or just about to finish third grade right now, but she's in treatments right now, and she's getting health care right now. We're not fighting over cancer. We all know cancer's bad. We all, have seen or uttered the phrase, that the F word, cancer. Cancer has affected every one of us on earth, and we hate it. Well, you know what? With all the political unrest, with all the communal unrest, again, I want to be part of that change where I'm not saying kumbaya. I'm not saying this is going to be happy. I'm not going to be saying this is going to be great, but I want to get us to a better place. And so my last point today that I want to talk about is actually about sports. Major League Baseball, for a while, was flirting with this July 1st date or July 4th date. Are they going to play a 50-game schedule? Are they going to play an 82-game schedule? They just had a proposal for a 114-game schedule. And I just want to say to Major League Baseball, because I know there's a lot of Brewers fans out there, and I actually know there's a lot of Red Sox fans out there because I'm originally from Boston, as you know. Is Major League Baseball tone deaf? Like, do they just not get it right now? Because with all this going on, starting with coronavirus, now with George Floyd's murder and everything going in, yes, I said his name, everything going on there, are they just tone deaf? Do they just not get it? We don't want to hear, if the owners are going to lose $4.4 billion, that's a lot of money. And I don't want them to lose $4.4 billion because you'd like to think on some level that's money that's going to trickle down into the community. And that's local businesses obviously are going to be affected, and people's entertainment value over the summer. I want baseball. I want Major League Baseball. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if that means they play in empty stadiums, or do 40,000 seat stadiums allow 10,000 people in, or, however that works. But to hear billionaires and millionaires fighting over everything, I don't want to hear it. And so I don't know if there's a way to keep that PR a little closer to their vest. I'm not taking either side there. I'm not taking the Brewers side. I'm not taking I mean, I'm always taking the fan side, but I'm not taking the player side. I'm not taking the owner side. I'm not taking anybody's side right now. I just, I just don't want them to be so tone deaf that they think that it's okay to be squabbling over this much money when tens, I don't know, thousands, tens of thousands of local businesses are never going to reopen right now. And you're talking about billions of dollars that I can't even contemplate. So I want you to care. I want you to love. Someday soon, I want you to hug. We're going to keep these going. I, some of them are going to be a little more political than others, but I do hope that a number are, smack dab into sports and getting that back. Tony said I hit it on the nose there, and Tony and I are guys who definitely disagree sometimes about what we want to see from our government and how we see our country. But we love each other. Tony's one of my guys, and I know he's working his hardest in his mind to protect our country and to do what he needs to do. And it's amazing to know that we have people like that in our lives, that we can't just insulate ourselves with people who are exactly like us. We need to branch out. So I have a new, my wife, who is, again, a Facebook Live guru. She figured out, she knows StreamYard. She does these Jewish Museum moments through Jewish Museum Milwaukee. There's going to be one today at 2 o'clock Central if you want to see that. And I'm really excited for that. She does them Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And so by giving me this new platform, I know how to bring other people in. So I'm going to start bringing some guests in to this Facebook Live and figuring out how to do slides and graphics and polls and stuff like that. So again, thank you to everybody for tuning in. ThunderMKE@gmail.com, at Mitch Nellis. You can tweet it. Again, I thank everybody for the support. The support yesterday on Facebook was amazing. I am self-employed, and so I am open for hire. So if you have projects to work on, again, content creation, podcasts, writing, whatever it might be, I'm here for you. And let's be part of something together. As my daughter would say, hope to hug you soon.